All right, here's what we got here. We got a Mac Mini from my buddy, and took it to the store. It said it got a black screen with a question mark, and the Apple store just basically said it's dead, and nothing they could do. And so they kind of gave him the rigmarole of like, just buy a new computer and eat it. So I used to work for Apple. I used to fix these things all the time. I didn't do the physical hardware stuff, but I did all the troubleshooting over the phone as an advisor. So I worked on a lot of computers, fixed a lot of iMacs, pulled the screens out, done all that kind of stuff. And I've got a shitload of tools. So I know that the store is in business to make money on new computers. They're not going to sit there and take a 10-year-old Mac and take it apart and try to fix it in the store. They don't really even have that kind of a service to do that. He's not an Apple Care guy, so he hasn't paid like $300 a year for that kind of stuff or extended warranty, blah, blah, blah. But these computers essentially were meant to fail at a certain point. The operating systems no longer get updated. The hard drives fail, whatever the case is. So we're going to peel this thing apart and see if we can find out what type of drive it needs. And we'll see what we can do and see if it's truly dead, and if we can actually take and find the data on here, maybe even put it into a reader and see if we can at least migrate it from one place to another. Because I know a lot of these things, what happens is the boot sectors get corrupt and you cannot boot them anymore. You can't do anything with the operating system, but you can still get the data off of them very slowly. But you can replace the drive and then still have a computer to work for another couple of years. So let's see if we can get into it. One of the things to mention, if you put the serial number in the Mac website, it'll actually tell you what the model number is, which you even have right here, which is the 81347. It'll tell you what the year is, what the components, and what the build type is. But typically that right there is the thing that we want to keep so we can have an identifier code. But essentially, let's go ahead and get into it. But the only thing we had to do is just use a little kind of a tool to pop this off. These things were just held in. There's nothing really to do, but we have a couple of, I guess these are these little star screws. Hopefully I've got that kind of a tool. Yeah, they're little security tools, but I've got all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it, remove this plate, and see what we can do after that. Not really any more than 15 minutes in. We've already got the motherboard out. Pretty easy. And there's the main power supply cable. This is the hard drive. So it's not a flash drive. It's just a regular SSD. I can see it from here. So that's a stupid easy repair. Very inexpensive. Rock and roll. Boop. So that's it. Pretty easy. It really only took me about 10 minutes to get this whole thing apart. It's only a few screws. I mean, it's not that complicated. You can see those are the outside case screws, and then there's just a couple of main screws, and then these things just hold this together and everything pops together. So I'll just go ahead and blow this thing out, clean it up, and then we just need to put in a new solid state drive. See what's wrong with it. Well, here's the new drive. It looks exactly like the old drive. We got a 1 terabyte. We're just going to pop back in there and put this bad boy back together, and we'll start putting the operating system on it. Well, there it is. Just this simple tool with all these little attachments. Took this whole thing apart. Nothing else. Simple. New drive in there. Ready to go. Power it up, put the operating system on it, send it back. Here we got the computer with the new drive. Starting the internet recovery. And we should be able to get this thing working in a few minutes. Dead Mac, huh? That's what you get for talking to a genius.